number one was in Brixton. Soprano B sound system was a beating out a rhythm with a fire. Coming down his reggae wire. It was a sound shaking down your spinal column.
Poet and the Roots were a reggae band from London. Actually, technically they were a poet and a reggae band who were put together in 1977 specifically to record one album. So the poet is a guy called Linton Kwesi Johnson, who is Jamaica-born but a UK-based poet. And Roots are a bunch of reggae musicians who apparently all went to the same secondary school. Hi, my name's Dan. So this is the only album credited to Poet and the Roots, and it's my first encounter with it. And apparently this is the creation of the dub poetry genre, which kind of describes what it is, really. So it's poetry, and I want to be kind of clear, it's not really rap. It definitely sounds more like poetry than rap, set to dub reggae. So let's talk about the dub reggae for a little bit, which is kind of, imagine, reggae as you might know from Bob Marley or something like that, and then slow it down even more a bit, make it emptier and kind of stark, and it's mostly drum and bass, but sometimes it's got a little bits of ornamentation in it. And so sometimes dub music is created, I believe, intended as a backing for other people to use for various things, but it has effectively become a genre in its own right. So this works well, I think, with the poetry. The poetry is read by Linton, and it's delivered in quite a deep voice. It's fairly deadpan. There's not a lot of emotion put into it, but the feel that it has is very much of it's ominous and it's kind of dark. And there's quite a lot of Jamaican slang in it, but I did understand most of what was going on. So the contents of the poetry. Apparently these are adapted poems from a book of poetry that he brought out, and the subject matter is mostly about the lives of black people in England in the late 70s. So there is a focus here on racial violence, on black violence. There's mentions of prison. There's mentions of racist institutions. There's one track that's about a guy called George Lindo, who was falsely imprisoned in Bradford. And for me, I found it quite engaging because it's got a background of, so I'm not from London, but I'm from the Yorkshire area, so I know Bradford fairly well. It's talking about areas of London like Brixton, and references to Maggie Thatcher and the National Front, and this is all stuff that kind of resonates with me. So overall, I kind of think that maybe at times it felt a bit too much like it was justifying violence to me, but only a little. Otherwise, I found it quite effective and actually very engaging. And I think one of the differences is that unlike something like gangster rap, is that I culturally get this context because I'm from the UK. I was around at that time. Obviously, I'm not black, but I was aware of the political background at the time of the institutions and the racism that was involved. So it rings a lot of bells. I wouldn't say nostalgia because it's not things that I look back on in fondness. It's things that I kind of look back on in horror, really, to be honest. So I found the poetry very engaging. The dub, I also really enjoyed. There's some really nice dub grooves that got me kind of swaying. I do like a good bit of reggae. Sometimes for me, dub is too empty, but here, because you got the poetry with it, it felt like a really good combination. So I really like this album. And as always, I'd like to know what you think, so please do talk to me through the comments box. That's it from me for now.
Frame of George Lindo up in Bradford town, but the Bradford blacks them a rally round. They say them frame of George Lindo up in Bradford town, but the Bradford blacks them a rally round. Maggie Thatcher on the go with a racist show, but a she have to go. 'Cause right now